we were actually thinking that we might be able to enrich stem cells by selecting small lymphocytes, small leukocytes. It may have been a bit misguided. I think we sort of got in over our head a little too quickly. You know, I'm sure you guys can appreciate that. Someone like me trying to jump in. But it had one input, again, we just wanted to put in blood, and I had three outputs: large white blood cells, small white blood cells, and waste.
Can you tell me, because I don't know enough about the physics behind, you were saying that it's only dependent on size, not dependent on, for example, the density of the cell, because you're using a physical force to push through in a bumper array, right?
So the cell density shouldn't be that big a deal. The reason is, it only really affects the gravitation term in any force equation. You can write all the forces you want on that cell and sum them up, and one of the terms is going to be the gravity term. It's g times the density difference. And that force is going to come out to, in most cases, an order of magnitude to 3 orders of magnitude less than the viscous forces or something like that. There are other effects, though. Size, the most significant other one is deformability. We found that leukocytes, they behave pretty much like hard spheres. And you'd expect that, especially for something like a lymphocyte, it's really just a round nucleus. It doesn't have a lot of room to squish and change shape. Red blood cells, and maybe even inactivated platelets, on the other hand, you know, we don't know yet. But we know that the deformability of red blood cells is important because we put fixatives in, and you see that as you add fixatives to the red blood cells, they go to a different place. They behave like bigger cells. So we think that the deformability is certainly important there.
Just follow on that. Your experiment shows a bell-shaped curve in terms of separation.
Yeah.
So what is the, how good is your separation depending on size? Say, for example, can you distinguish between one cell that's 1 micron and the other one is 1.5? What is the...
Two answers. This chip, some of this bell shape is a result of the chip. Some of it is induced by the chip. But the limit to size resolution for this technology is extremely good. In the 2004 paper in Science, they showed a 2% resolution in size. So they said you could resolve a 1 micron particle from a 950 nanometer particle. Yeah, easy. They said you could do 980 nanometers to 1 micron. They didn't show you could, but based on resolution of peaks, they said you could. Yeah, it should be quite good. But certainly the heterogeneity in populations is the dominant effect. Sorry, go ahead.
Sure. Although you say you can separate, but my concern is the overlap. Although you can say the separation, but how good?
Well, I would say that let's take the lymphocytes from the monocytes here.